So, here we are again. Meghan Markle's nanny drama is back, louder, messier, and way more awkward than anyone expected. But let's not act surprised. For years now, behind the manic smiles and curated podcast appearances, the behind the scenes reality of life in the Sussex household has been, let's just say, far from chill. The latest twist, Meghan's longtime nanny, the one she's supposedly had for 5 years, is out. Not with a bang, but with a tired sigh and a new title, house manager. But even that promotion didn't come easy. Apparently, this woman's been asking for the switch for ages, but Meghan kept dodging the change like a Netflix deal that doesn't pay enough. Now that the nanny finally put her foot down, the royal duo is scrambling for a replacement again. Now, why is this such a big deal? Because this isn't the first, second, or even third time this has happened. Meghan and Harry reportedly went through 3 nannies in 6 weeks back in 2019. That's almost 1 nanny per fortnight. And according to insiders, working for the Sussexes is like auditioning for Broadway. Except there's no applause, just NDAs, fake surprise greetings, and tiptoeing around Meghan's reputation. And speaking of auditions, this part is wild. Before even meeting Meghan and Harry, nanny candidates are told not to know who they're meeting. But agencies whisper the truth anyway. Hey, heads up, it's Meghan Markle. Why the secrecy? Because the Sussexes are paranoid about leaks. But here's the kicker. The nanny still has to act shocked when she meets them. It's not just a job interview, it's theater. And even after getting hired, the job is no picnic. There are whispers that Meghan doesn't know what she wants. One minute, she wants someone to get the kids sleeping through the night. The next, she needs that same person to be high energy during the day. It's physically impossible. These aren't dolls, they're toddlers. And if your night nanny is sleep deprived, how's she supposed to handle snack time, play dates, and endless no, don't touch that all day long? It doesn't help that Meghan's own mother, Doria Ragland, who used to be a consistent support system, is now gone too. Yes, even her mother has left the palace-turned-pandemic sanctuary. Sources say Doria got fed up with Meghan's endless complaints and controlling ways. She's packed her bags and reportedly wants nothing to do with the daily chaos anymore. If your own mother's like, I'm out, that says something. And here's the sad irony. Despite all the help she's cycled through, Meghan reportedly still feels like she's losing something: the emotional bond with her children. It's a common fear among mothers who rely heavily on nannies, especially full-time ones. The kids start gravitating to the one who spends the most time with them, and that terrifies Meghan. But instead of spending more time with them herself, she wants nannies who will do everything, but without stealing too much affection. It's a lose-lose game. Add to that the high-maintenance hiring process, the emotional distance, the paranoia about reputation, and now the collapse of even her closest circle. And what you're left with is a household that looks polished on Instagram, but is running on fumes in real life. This nanny crisis isn't just about childcare. It's a symptom of something deeper, something that keeps bubbling up in Meghan's post-royal life: control, isolation, and a slow unraveling of the support systems she once had. Whether it's staff or family, the pattern's always the same. People come in hopeful, but leave quietly and fed up. And somehow, Meghan always ends up standing alone, wondering why everyone else keeps walking away. There's a reason why some staff whisper about Meghan's Montecito life like it's a castle with velvet walls, beautiful on the outside, but echoing inside. You walk in expecting warmth, purpose, maybe even glamour. But according to insiders, what you often find is a maze of assistants, protocols, mood shifts, and an exhausting desire to micromanage everything while claiming you're too busy to care. Take the hiring process for these nannies. It's not just an interview. It's a 3-step gauntlet that feels more like trying to join a cult than caring for 2 children. First, you meet someone from the agency. Then you're passed on to one of Meghan's own assistants, people who, by the way, are also constantly rotating in and out. Then finally, there's the third round, meeting Meghan and Harry themselves. But even that moment comes with a bizarre twist. You have to pretend you don't know who they are. Just smile like you're meeting any random California couple with 0 royal baggage. Everyone knows it's fake, but you have to play along because the rules are the rules. Why all the secrecy? Because the couple believes everyone is out to leak something. Whether it's about the wallpaper in Archie's room or a fight over bedtime snacks, Meghan and Harry are terrified of stories making their way into tabloids. Which is ironic, because the more they try to control the narrative, the more chaotic everything seems to become. And then there's the jealousy factor. It's one thing to hire someone to help with the kids, it's another to get bitter when the kids start bonding with them. Sources say Meghan becomes uneasy when the children show too much attachment to their caretakers. Like, what do you expect if someone is feeding them, bathing them, putting them to sleep, and staying up with them during fevers? Of course a bond forms, but instead of embracing that support, it's almost like Meghan sees it as competition. She wants the help, but not the closeness. And that just doesn't work with children. That brings us back to Doria. Meghan's mom was supposed to be the steady, grounding force in the house. She'd been there for years, always in the background, always supportive. But even she had enough. Insiders say Doria finally walked away because the tension and the never-ending complaints were draining. It's not that she doesn't love her grandchildren. She does. But she couldn't deal with Meghan's moods, control issues, and what some describe as emotional intensity that never switches off. Apparently, Doria tried. She really tried. But at some point, love just isn't enough. When peace is always out of reach, all of this adds up to a household that's starting to feel abandoned. One by one, the people who were once pillars, staff, friends, family, are exiting stage left. And Meghan, she keeps going, keeps planning, keeps managing, but fewer and fewer are staying to carry the weight with her. Behind the scenes, Hollywood isn't blind either. Meghan used to have A-listers in her corner: Oprah, Tyler Perry, even Serena Williams. But these days, her birthday came and went, and only the ultra-loyal few said a word. The big names have gone silent. No likes, no stories, no shade, just distance. Because when you're in the inner circle and start realizing the drama doesn't stop, at some point you decide peace matters more than proximity. And for Meghan, that silence is louder than any headline. Even the media has started to shift. For a long time, Meghan Markle could count on her favorite writers and editors to spin gold from anything she touched. Whether it was a lifestyle interview, a podcast episode, or a subtle dig at the royals disguised as empowerment, journalists were always there to back her up. But now, even that well is drying up. And fast. The most loyal voice still standing, Bryony Gordon. She's been called Meghan's unofficial mouthpiece. A journalist who once wrote about her own struggles with addiction and mental health now seems fully committed to defending Meghan at all costs. But it's not just articles. It's full-on praise pieces, practically gushing over Meghan's kindness and unfair treatment, while ignoring the pattern that's been playing out in plain sight. Even that friendship, though, feels more transactional than genuine. The lunches, the texts, the visits to Montecito, it all looks more like PR management than personal loyalty. And the outlets running those stories? Not exactly where you'd expect Meghan to be celebrated. The Daily Mail, a paper she's literally sued, has bizarrely allowed Bryony's glowing coverage to slip through. Some say it's strategic, part of a subtle game to ease tensions, maybe even get Harry to drop his legal crusade against British tabloids. But if that's the goal, it's naive. Meghan doesn't forget, and she definitely doesn't forgive. She might tolerate certain people for optics, but behind closed doors, the resentment stays burning. Meanwhile, Prince Harry's biographer, Angela Levin, has been brutally honest in her commentary. According to her, Meghan didn't stumble into chaos. She planned the disruption. She didn't marry into the royal family to serve it. She came with her own mission, to reshape it, challenge it, and when it didn't bend to her will, break away and reinvent herself as something even bigger than a duchess. But that reinvention hasn't gone to plan. Her Hollywood dream has hit a wall. The big Netflix deal didn't exactly blow people away. Spotify walked, Archetypes was quietly discontinued, and the acting career, still dormant. Instead of red carpets and film sets, Meghan's story is now written in headlines about staff quitting, family feuds, and birthday posts that never came. The fairy tale is fractured. The princess narrative, gone. Then there's the social awkwardness that even her defenders can't ignore. Meghan often looks out of place when surrounded by elite crowds, fidgeting, pulling on Harry's arm, looking around like she's not sure what's expected of her. Royal observers caught this on the palace balcony during Trooping the Color, when Harry snapped at her to stop turning around and just stand still. That moment went viral, not because it was dramatic, but because it was real. It showed the disconnect between how she sees herself and how she's actually perceived. Harry, for his part, seems increasingly distant in the public eye, less enthusiastic, more mechanical. He's not the wild, cheeky prince anymore, nor is he the liberated California dad he tried to be. He looks stuck between two worlds that no longer want him, caught between a wife who's still fighting everyone and a family that stopped reaching out. At the center of it all is Meghan, surrounded by fewer people, holding tighter to control, and yet watching everything slip away. Staff come and go, friends stop replying, family is estranged, and the glitz of reinvention fades a little more with each quiet departure. Not with rage, not with scandal, but with a silence that says, "This is your